Yo, yo. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Yo, welcome to the bench. Welcome to the bench. Welcome to the bench. Wait. I'm not wearing my grills, but I made a rule that every time I record, I must wear my grills. So give me 2 seconds while I go put on my grills. Okay, okay. Actually, that feels so much more comfortable. I feel a lot more into it already. But yeah, man, as you can see, the setting is different. The layout is different. The standard is different. I'm actually in Brussels at the moment for a holiday. Holiday? I'd say more crisis break. I don't even know if I could call it a holiday because I was burning out like crazy. Work was beating me. Work was flogging me. I remember I was talking to my friend Hazel, like we are just talking, and I kept telling her, I was like, bruv, I'm falling apart. I'm tired. And she was like, Guy, you need a holiday. She didn't say, Guy, you need a holiday, but like, I'm paraphrasing. But she was like, you need a holiday. You need a break. And that night, I went on my laptop and I was like, all right, where can I fly to that's cheap and also fun? Brussels was one of the places that came up. So I was like, right, we're going to Brussels. So I came in 2 nights ago. Yeah, I came in 2 nights ago. I came in on Thursday night. Or no, I came in on Thursday morning, sorry. So I was here Thursday, I was here all day yesterday. Then I'm here today, which is Saturday, and then I'm gone tomorrow morning. So I'm kind of coming to the end of it now. But it's been so nice. It's been so enjoyable. It's been so enjoyable. Like there's a couple things. Well, is there a couple things? I actually haven't done anything crazy. Do you know what I mean? Like my holiday vibe is never really activities. Like it's a solo holiday as well, which is nobody really does crazy amount of activities on a solo holiday. It's more exploring because most activities are made for like two people or more. You feel me? But yeah, I haven't done much other than look around. But Brussels is a beautiful city. I can't even lie. Brussels is a beautiful city. I've really enjoyed the vibe. Like it feels very easygoing, which I love. Like I love cities that are easygoing. I don't like cities that are go. Everything has to get done now. Somebody's going to die. Like that's not my type of vibe. So like I remember when I was in London, I was very overwhelmed because London is a lot. London is a lot. When I was in Paris, not so much overwhelmed, actually more just annoyed because I was like, why is this place so busy? Why is there people flipping everywhere? And then I was in Amsterdam. Amsterdam is amazing because the pacing of the city is so easygoing and it's so chill. And like Brussels reminds me a lot of Amsterdam, just in how easygoing the people seem to be and how almost just not as fast paced the city moves. Like the city moves at a much slower pace, which I love. And the people just seem like they're not as rushed. Like it suits the type of way I want to live a lot. So like I really enjoyed this break so far. Um Thursday morning I came in. It was actually kind of annoying. Thursday morning I came in and the Airbnb I was staying at, like I couldn't check in till 3. But I got in to Brussels at like 10 a.m. So I was in the city for 4 hours with my heavy bag, just walking around. I brought a big bag because clothes and recording stuff. And I was carrying this big bag around the city for 4 hours. By the time I came home, I was sweaty and I was exhausted. So I just ended up spending the rest of the evening resting. Didn't even do nothing crazy that day. Like I was just so Tuesday, like Thursday. I wouldn't say it was a write off, but it was more like the activity, and the jumping around that I wanted to do. I didn't get to do. I did get to do a little bit of shopping though. I got myself something nice. And then Friday, which is yesterday, I went for a massage. That was kind of wild. It was the first massage I've ever gotten, and like I've always like my shoulders are always stiff because I'm always like this somehow somewhere. I'm always like this. So I went for a deep tissue massage, and when I tell you this brother guy, this guy was like like this guy was using this guy was using all his upper body strength and power to remove the knots. And bro, the relaxation I felt in that place was different. Different, like a really calm vibe. Really like helps to ease a lot of the tension in my back and in my legs as well, because I've had quite a bit in my legs. So that was nice. That was fun. It was a little bit painful at times. Actually, no, it was very painful at times because there was periods where this guy was using the inside of his elbow to really like iron out my back almost. It was crazy. But that was fun. And then yesterday I did a little bit of shopping. I can't even call it shopping because I went to buy something I actually needed. So it wasn't really shopping. Then I came home, made some food, and then I went out to see my boy John. Now see John. John is a real G man. I met John in Ireland because he came with his girlfriend to see his girlfriend's friend. And we all went out bowling together because I'm friends with his girlfriend. Well, no, I'm friends with his girlfriend's friend. Sorry. So we all went out, and he's such a cool guy. And like, he's a Christian as well. So we kind of connected on some faith stuff. Um, and I was like, yeah, as I'm in Brussels, I'll just come see him because he lives in, honestly, I can't even remember the name of the place he lives, but it's like an hour and 30 minutes away from Brussels. So I texted him, we met up, and it was just a chill vibe. Like, we talked for like 3 hours. He's such a cool guy. That's probably even the best part of this holiday. If I'm being honest, just seeing my boy and talking with him. He's actually gonna come on the bench at some point. He can't do it this time around that I'm here, just because he's so busy. But hold me to it, I'll hold him to it. John is coming on the bench, so it's gonna be a fun time. We've also got some tea, guy. I'm telling you, no matter where I go in this world, no matter what I'm doing in this world, tea will always be here. Tea feels like such an integral part of my life now. I don't know what I do without tea. Today's tea is Moroccan mint with spices. It's a Lipton brand. It's very nice. I think I'm gonna buy another pack and take it home. This is one of the nicest teas I've had in quite a long time. Reminds me of the tea that I was drinking when I was in Morocco, but it's not as sweet. It's very, it's very good. Yeah, it's very nice. Do you know what I mean? It's very nice. I've even got the small mic today. I've got the small portable mic because I couldn't bring my big mic with me on holiday. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing a few more things with this mic as well. Just you wait. Ah, but yeah, man, the bench. I've just been yapping on about my holiday, but the bench. There's always sirens going off in this place. I'd say that's the one thing that's actually annoyed me. It's literally always a siren for some reason. Like, I don't know what's going on. But the bench, man. Yeah, we had Mandy on. We had Mandy on again, bro. Like, Mandy's actually a serious character. Mandy's a serious character. I don't know if I actually proper mentioned it, or maybe like I just hinted at it. Not even hinted at it, like maybe I said it, but I never actually said it official. Like, Mandy is a part of the bench. I can't even say team because there's just two of us. But like, Mandy's actually a part of the bench now. Like, after her episode, we talked. I prayed about it too, but we talked, and I was like, yo, bro, I would love for you to actually join me on the bench because I like the words that you're saying, and the way that you live your life is exactly what the bench is. And I was like, I would love for you to bring that to the bench on a more permanent basis. Well, not permanent basis, but like team up with me, you know what I'm saying? So Mandy is actually like the person who controls the social media and everything kind of around the social media. So if you see those posts that have like hello words, no, if you see those, yeah, those posts and those stories that have like hello words, hella flashing lights and symbols, bro, that's not me. I don't know how to do those. If you want to know the posts that are me on Instagram, you go on a story. If the story has just the reel with no words, that's me. Because I never know what to put there. If the story has a bunch of words and a bunch of symbols, that's Mandy. If the story has no words, that's me. So Mandy has given our social media some life, and she has some more ideas that we're kind of putting into place that will give the social media even more life. So I'm excited for those. I'm excited for those. But yeah, man, Mandy came on the bench and she gave us some words. Flipping heck, man. Mandy came on the bench and she gave us some words. Bro, Mandy came on the bench and she gave us some words. Like, what Mandy said touched my soul, the deepest, deepest parts of my soul. Like, for one, because I could relate with everything that she said. Literally every single word that Mandy said, I could relate with. But also, secondly, because like she was just so honest about everything. Like there was no like half information. There was no kind of like, oh, some bad things happened, but I had to get over it. She was like, nah, bro. I was growing up as a child and I was made to feel like I had to earn my place to be where I was. Like I felt that. I felt that so much. Like, and as a black African, I felt that so much. Like, I don't know what it is in other black African cultures, but in Nigerian culture, I felt that so, like, I felt that to the very core of my soul because that's how a lot of us are raised. We're raised in the sense of like, you have to prove yourself. You have to show your worth. You have to earn your place. Naija no they carry last, and neither can you. You must be first in your class. You must be at the top of whatever you do. You have to excel. You have to show that you are the best. And like it's something that I've always actually had an issue with. Like, I wasn't able to put words to the issue that I had with it for the longest time, but I always had an issue with it because I was like, this doesn't make sense. This isn't sustainable. That I continually have to prove myself over and over and over and over, and I continually have to earn my place over and over and over and over. And like, there's no point in my life where I could just rest and just be. Like I have to continue doing over and over and over. And it pissed me off so much as a child and as a teenager and as a young adult because it felt like there was no rest. It felt like it was just perpetual motion to satisfy this insatiable desire to feel like I belong, like I'm worth something, like I'm valuable. It's like this unattainable goal of value. Sorry, I'm throwing around a bunch of big words. Let me calm down. But it's like I want to feel accepted, but I can't feel that way because what I'm doing doesn't match up to the standard that has been set up for me. So as far as I don't meet the standard, I am not acceptable, you know? And that's a lot of what Mandy got into. I didn't even know she was gonna get into that. Bro, if you don't know me by now, when someone's coming on the bench, I hand them the mic and I actually walk out the room. Or like in Mandy's case, I was watching a football match. I had headphones in the corner. I was watching a football match. I didn't even hear what she was saying. And so like, it's funny that she touched on something so like deep and so personal for me. So I'll get into a bit of why it's so deep and why it's so personal for me in a little bit. Like one of the areas Mandy touched on was when she said that she didn't live with her parents and she was made like with the people that she was with staying with, she was made to feel like she had to earn her place in the family and she had to show that she belonged. She had to show that she was worth having around, that she was worth keeping. You know what I mean? She had to show her value. She had to prove her worth, which is insane when you think about it because she was a child. Do you know what I mean? Like that's a child. Like that is a child that is growing up and what children need is to be taught their worth. So you have a child who needs to be taught and shown their worth, especially by Christians. So a child who needs to be taught and shown their worth as a Christian, as one of God's children. But instead of the child being shown their worth, the child is being asked to prove their worth. So you have a child with no basis for anything, a blank slate with no strong understanding of the word of the world, and like no template to work off. And you are asking that child to prove themselves to you, to prove that they are worth having around. When you think about it, that's insane. Like, that's actually, like, it's so out of pocket, bro. It's so crazy. It's so insane. Like, you are asking someone who doesn't know their worth to prove their worth. You're asking someone who doesn't know their worth to prove their worth. But because they don't know their worth, they can only look externally at external things, and they can only attach their worth to the things outside of them, to the things that they were doing. In Mandy's case, her self-worth was attached to academic performance. So the words that were said to her were, if you don't get good grades, if you're not the first in class, we are going to call your parents and tell them to leave you here. So it was literally, if you don't get good grades, your parents are going to abandon you. Like, what a crazy way. Like, first of all, shame on the people who said that, because that's foul. Like, that's ridiculous. You don't say that to a child ever. Are you sick? Are you mad? But, like, what a crazy way to attach a child's self-worth to their performance. To tell a child that your parents are going to leave you here if you don't do well enough in school. It was insane. And then Mandy kind of went into how she's been coming to terms with that and understanding it and understanding what that experience has done to her and like how that experience shows up in her life today. And I think that part was really important because a lot of the times we talk about these experiences, like us being young adults, especially, yes, especially young black adults, especially young black adults that grew up in Nigerian or African households, because like the level of discipline that we experienced and the words that were said to us were actually a lot harsher, and the discipline was a lot harder than most of our European or white peers. You know what I mean? Like we were hit with a different stick, a much harder and heavier stick, you know what I'm saying? So like a lot of the times we talk about these experiences, whether with laughter or with tears, and we share these experiences, but a lot of us don't actually go into what those experiences did to us and how those experiences show up in us today. Like, a lot of us don't even know what those experiences did to us and how those experiences show up today. Do you know what I mean? Which is kind of wild. And like I was saying before, when Mandy was talking, damn. Like I was saying before, when Mandy was talking, I was feeling the words that she was saying. Like, I've watched Mandy's episode like 3 times now. I was feeling the words she was saying because I could relate so much. I grew up in a Nigerian household. I'm a Nigerian boy, and I grew up in Nigeria, and I have Igbo parents. Igbo parents are very driven towards success. They are, which is a good thing. It's actually not a bad thing. Igbo parents in Igbo culture, success and money and wealth are praised. It is, you'll work hard to create wealth for yourself and for your family. You'll work hard to be able to support yourself and support your family. You'll work hard to be a respectable individual who is able to carry themselves well. Like, those are amazing things. Those are not bad things, right? And I'm not saying they're bad things. Those are actually good things. But the way it was approached, I think, was not correct. I think it wasn't okay. And I think in a lot of ways, it actually did a lot more harm than good. So, like, my parents were, still are, very academic focused. Like, very, very academic focused. Very, very academic focused. Essentially, school is everything. Your books is everything. Like, this is your primary focus. This is where your self worth lies. Like, as well as you can perform in school, you can and will be in life, which also defines how worthy you are. Academic performance shows your worth, and you'll be treated according to that. So you can see very clearly where this goes wrong. You see very clearly where this goes wrong. And I'm not pointing the finger at my parents like, oh, you did this bad. I guess I'm more talking. I'm cool with my parents. Like, I'm actually very cool with my parents. I've had these conversations with my mom and with my dad. We've had these conversations. But wait, what? Really? Wait. Now, growing up, I was raised to be an academic weapon. Like, when I say academic weapon, like, I was raised to be the very best of the very best of the very best. The kind of the best. Dude, I'm talking like that. The best of that. So, me and my brothers were raised to be academic weapons. But we were led in that direction. Same with my cousins as well. My cousin's really close to me. Like, we were raised and taught to be academic weapons. So the only time that praise was given was when academics were good. The times where we were punished or admonished was when academic performance was poor. So when the grades are good, actually no, the only times when things were normal in terms of like we're not even talking of, oh, as a child you're getting praise. Like, you weren't getting praise for doing well in school. Doing well in school was the standard. So you actually just weren't getting, would I say shouted at? Yeah, you just weren't getting, like, you weren't getting grilled when you were doing good, but you weren't getting praised either. It was like doing good is the standard. So you're just doing what you're supposed to do anyways. Why should we be praising you? And but when your grades were bad, when your performance was bad, that's when stuff really hit the fan. Because it's like, what's wrong with you? Why are you not doing well in school? Did I bring you here for you to be performing bad in school? Look at your mates. Look at John. John is getting these grades. Does John have 3 head? Does John have 3 notes? Is John better than you? Is John smarter than you? You know, all those kind of words where it's like, as soon as your grades aren't the best of the best, as soon as your grades take a dip in form, or when your grades aren't incredible compared to anyone else's, you're almost seen and treated as less, and you're almost spoken to as less than that person until you climb over them in academics, which is crazy again, thinking about it. Like, I remember I'd come home with a test and say maybe I got like 73%, which is a B, right? Got like 70% as a B. And I bring it to my parents and I'm like, this is my grade. I was like, oh, okay, this is okay. And then the first question always, every single time was, what did the highest in the class get? Every single time. So growing up, there was always a standard, right? So it was either by academics, I was the standard, or by academics, I'm trying to reach the standard, which is the highest in the class. So if with that 73 or whatever, if that 73 was the highest in the class, it's like, okay, you're clearly doing well, we're done. If that 73 was 5th place in the class, is Why are you number 5 when you're supposed to be number 1? What do you mean? You know, if you get 95% and someone else gets 97%, it's like, why is there someone beating you? Are you okay? Instead of you to be number 1 in the class. You know what I mean? So it was constant. When I tell you constant comparison, constantly being compared to other people's children, constantly being compared to your own siblings, constantly being compared to a standard that is attainable, but is also hard to maintain. You know what I'm saying? Constant comparison, constant comparison, constant comparison. And bruv, when I tell you I have stories, I have I have more stories than I could say in one episode of a podcast. But I'll try and bring up a few. Like, I remember my junior cert. I remember my junior cert. I ain't even gonna lie, I didn't study too hard. Like, I studied, but I wasn't studying too crazy for the junior cert. But I did the junior cert, and I think we had like 10 exams, 11 exams. Yeah, I'd say like 10 exams. Oh, no, it was 9 exams from what I actually, this was so long ago, I can't remember. It was like 9 exams. And I remember the results of the junior cert came out, and I got 8 Bs. So 8 Bs, 1 C. That was my grade. Junior cert came out. I got 8 Bs and 1 C. And I was like, damn, I would have loved the A. An A would have gone crazy on this. Ain't even gonna lie. An A would have gone crazy on this. But I didn't get an A. I got 8 Bs. And I remember I was scared to bring my results home because I knew my mom would be annoyed because there was no A's. But guy, I had to bring the results home anyways. So I remember I brought the results home and I showed them to my mom. And I was like, Mommy, these are my results. And she was like, what did you get? And I said, 8 B's, 1 C. And the first thing my mom said, aside of anything else, the first thing my mom said was, no A's? So like there was no acknowledgement of the B's. Those were completely brushed aside. But it was like, no A's? I was like, yeah, no, I wasn't able to get any A's. And it was like, oh, okay. Okay, that's okay. And it was just not brought up again. And I think a couple of days later, because again, my mom was really close to her sister, who's my auntie, and my mom's sister has kids who are my age. So my cousin Nixon, who's like a couple months older than me, we've been in the same class every single year since I came to Ireland. We did the junior cert in the same year at the same time. So I got 8 B's. He got 7 A's. I think, he got 7 A's. So I got 8 B's. He got 7 A's in the junior cert. And I remember my mom found out that he got 7 A's. And then she called me into the kitchen. She was like, Ibuka, did you hear that Nixon got 7 A's? I was like, oh, I didn't know. Okay. That's nice. I'm happy for him. And she was like, 7 A's. And you're getting all B's. See your life. Your mates are getting 7 A's and you're getting all B's. And you're just here doing anyhow. You're just here playing game and you're here eating. And your mates are getting 7 A's. Instead of you to be like Nixon and be getting 7 A's and making us proud. And I remember like hearing that. Some other things were said. Again, this was almost 10 years ago now, so I can't exactly remember. Damn, I'm even feeling how I was feeling then, just saying it now. But like some other things were said, and I just remember feeling like shit, man. Can I say I could definitely say shit on the podcast, man. I say shit in real life, so like, yeah. If you don't like me saying shit, I'm so sorry. I'm actually so sorry. But I felt horrible, man. I felt horrible. I felt so horrible because I was like, I failed. Keep in mind I got 8 B's and a C. But in my mind I'm thinking, I've failed. I couldn't meet the standard. I couldn't make my parents proud. I failed them. Like I failed them. And I remember feeling angry. And I remember feeling sad. And I remember feeling scared because I was like, this standard that I'm being asked to meet, I actually don't think that I can meet it. Like, I don't think I've got the minerals or the facilities for these activities, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think I can meet it. And it made me sad and it made me scared because it's like, will I ever be acceptable in the eyes of my parents because I cannot meet the standard that has been set for me? And that was a lot. That was pretty much all of secondary school for me. That's just one story. But that was pretty much all of secondary school for me, where I was like, I don't think I can meet the standard. So I don't think I will ever be fully acceptable in my parents' eyes. And I wasn't doing bad in school, bro. I was not doing bad in school. I was actually doing quite well. I'm not even gonna lie. I was actually doing quite well. Like I was a real academic weapon. I, like, I was a smart kid. I can't even lie. I was the youngest in the entire year by like 2 years. So like I did my leaving cert when I was 16 and I got into Trinity. Like I'm not even like, and that's not me banging on my chest. Like I was an academic weapon and I still am. Like I love my book. But yeah, growing up like that hurt. Damn, I'm feeling it in my chest right now and it still hurts. Flip. But growing up like that hurt, bro. Like it hurt. It hurt my heart to the deepest extent that it possibly could have hurt. Like it hurt so much because when I did good, there was no acknowledgement of it. But when I did bad, there was always consequences. And like things were always said. Do you know what I mean? I think one of the things that happened actually, and this is something that I spoke with my cousin about years later. One of the things that happened because of that type of like upbringing and that comparison was like it poisoned my relationship with my cousin. Like I think I've said it before, my cousin is my best friend. Like that's like we are like this. In college, people used to complain that we were always together. We are like this. But my cousin was and still is my best friend. But what that did to our relationship was that it made me constantly compare myself to him in everything. And it made me constantly try and be better than him in everything. So when the things that I was performing better in, it made me feel superior to him. In the things that I wasn't doing as well in, it made me feel inferior to him. So my relationship with my best friend became a competition to outdo him in everything because of we were constantly compared growing up, you know? And that led to all sorts of things, man. Like that led to all sorts of poisonous, um, what's the word? It led to a lot of poisonous behaviors. It led to a lot of like pocket watching and faith watching and academics watching where I was just like, hey, as long as I'm doing better than Nixon, I'm good. Like literally, I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like a lot of the reason I did well in my leaving cert was one because I wanted to get into the course I wanted, but two because I wanted to do better than my cousin. Like a lot of it was like one of the biggest driving factors was I am going to show everybody that I could do better than my cousin. Like I'm going to prove myself here that I could do better than my cousin. Thinking about it now is so crazy because I put in an insane amount of work to outdo my best friend. It was crazy. I put in an insane amount of work just to show that like I really can be better. Like I was acting out of insecurity. And I remember after Mandy's first episode, one of the things I said was sometimes we look at people and we look at what they're doing and we look at like how high up they are or like how they're achieving stuff, but we don't know why they're there. and we don't know what's caused them to be there, and we don't even know what their motivation is for being there. And there was people looking at me like, oh yeah, this guy's actually really smart, this guy is doing really well in school, this guy's gonna go on to do XYZ, whatever, blah 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 blah. But in reality, one of the biggest driving factors for me being academically successful in secondary school was that I am trying my hardest to prove to my parents and to everybody else that I could be better than my cousin who I've been consistently compared to. It's crazy. It's crazy. It is crazy. Man, even saying the words, because like this is a conversation I've had with my cousin, I think 2 or 3 years ago. Like I actually talked, like we've talked about this, so this isn't new information for either of us. But yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. Damn. Sorry. That was just that was just a big dumbbell drop, and I think I need a second. Damn. Damn. So yeah, and like it was something that followed me. Like it was something that followed me. So it didn't stop at the leaving cert. It didn't stop with my cousin. It followed me into college. And again, I went to Trinity College, the land of academic weapons. Bro, it's hard to be an academic weapon when everybody around you is an academic weapon and you realize their knife is sharper than your knife. Their gun is bigger than your gun. I went into Trinity and I said, yo, I do not have the facilities. I do not have the capabilities. I do not have the abilities. I do not have the minerals, bro. Oh my, flip sick. I went in and I said, yeah, I'm cooked. I'm cooked. Again, I was way too young going into that damn college, man. But I went in and I was like, yo, like, I cannot compare to these guys because like living in a small town like Port Leash, it's not that hard to stand out academically because the competition is not that many people. But when you will go to a college where there's a pretty high points cutoff, everybody in the class is extremely smart. They had to be really smart to be there. But the comparison still continued because that was everything I've ever known. Like that's everything I've ever done. All I know how to do is compare. So I went into my class and I was comparing myself to people. I was comparing myself to people who went to private schools. I was comparing myself to people who came from international schools. I was comparing myself to people who came from normal schools. I was comparing myself to people based on age, based on looks, based on background, based on muscles. Like I was like when I tell you I was the comparison commander, like I was comparing everything. I didn't know how to not compare. I didn't know how to just be within myself. So the first few weeks of first year of college were horrible because I just felt like I couldn't measure up. I still ended up doing pretty well in first year just because by the time exams came around, I actually had to just shut up and study. And I study well, so I did pretty well in the exams. But anyways, like all I knew how to do was compare. All I knew how to do was compare. It followed me all through first year. It followed me all through second year. It followed me all through third year. It followed me all through fourth year, even when we were on lockdown, because I was comparing myself to people who were showing up to more online lectures than me. I was like, this person is in this online lecture when I'm not. So they're clearly doing better than me. So they're clearly going to get better grades than me. Do you know what I mean? Like, a life of comparison is so horrible and defeating because no matter what you do, it always makes you feel like less. Like, oh man, I remember this one guy in first year. I ain't even gonna lie, this guy was behaving like a clown. Like, God bless his heart, but he was actually behaving like a clown. This guy went to this private school in Dublin, and he was this like, he was a whatever kind of guy, sure. But he went to this private school in Dublin, so he was just feeling like he was feeling himself a little too much academically. And I remember in first year, I used to go to the maths lectures, and I found them very, very hard to keep up with. I found them very, very hard to keep up with because the lecturer just spoke really fast, and like I find it hard to keep up in lectures because I'm not the best listener. Like when it comes to like academic stuff, I listen to people very well. Like don't get it twisted, but I'm not the best listener when it comes to academic stuff. So I used to struggle in the maths lectures, and we used to sit beside each other. And he noticed I was struggling in the maths lectures, and this boy took it on himself to start teaching me the maths that the teacher is teaching me. So as the teacher is explaining, he's explaining instead of him to face his front and learn. He's explaining what the teacher is explaining. This brother was mansplaining maths to me in the lecture that we're both in. And I actually got mad offended because I was like, bro, do you think I'm stupid or something? Like at first I appreciate it, but then I noticed he started treating me a certain way because he was teaching me, I guess, you know? And then it turned out at the end of the year that he had to repeat exams, and then he had to repeat the year because this brother was actually not paying attention in class. He was just doing I too know. Do you know what I mean? So someone that I compared myself to wasn't even all that great. And I'm not saying that as a put down, but I'm saying like when I faced my front, when I faced my own work and my own books, I was able to succeed because I'm not comparing myself to other people. Oh, it's actually something I was speaking to John about yesterday. I'll actually say it here because it's so important. Like, if you take nothing else from this entire episode, take this one thing, right? A lot of us, we spend our lives and we spend a lot of time comparing ourselves to other people, especially through social media, and we don't know how to stop. That's me. I don't know how to not compare myself to people. I don't know how to not see people as a standard. Like I've been learning how to do it over the years, but in certain areas like academics and in faith, I find it very hard to not compare myself to people who I feel are doing better than me. And I was talking to John about it, and we're talking about like a conversation I had with my mentor. So there are these people who I look up to within the Ireland faith space, and I think are doing great things. But a lot of the times when I see what they're putting out, I feel inadequate because I feel like I'm not doing enough. I feel like I'm not putting out quality as good as them. I don't feel like I'm as spiritually in tune as them. And I was talking to Jasmine, my mentor, and I was like, I don't know how to not compare myself to them. When their stuff comes up on my feed, I can't avoid it. And you know what she said? She was like, remove them from your feed. She goes, remove them from your feed. Remove them. Because your peace is worth it. Remove them from your feed. It doesn't mean you have beef with them. Doesn't mean you don't love them. But for the very fact that you don't know how to not compare yourself to them and it's causing you stress, remove them from your feed. I was like, this is profound. I say, bro, like, and this is what I was saying to John yesterday. I was like, one of the greatest ways in life to fight comparison is to mind your damn business. Like, one of the greatest ways in life to fight comparison and to stop yourself comparing yourself to other people who you feel are doing better. Again, this better cannot be proven because you don't actually know what's motivating their actions in the first place. But minding your damn business is the best way to stop comparing yourself to people because that person is not you. So no matter, even if you put on the exact same of whatever they have, it won't look the same on you. That person is not you. You don't know who they are truly or what exactly they're doing to get or have done to get where they are. You don't know. What else was it? Yeah, it was like you don't know who they are. You don't know exactly what they've done. Thirdly, and probably the most important thing, they are not successful or being successful to make you envious. Like, they're not doing this for you. Nobody is making, like, and I think that's probably the one that I've had to hold on to the most. It was like, these people that I see doing great things, they're not doing great things to spite me, which is kind of ridiculous saying it out loud, but you kind of get what I'm saying. Nobody's doing great things to spite me. Nobody's doing great things to make me feel inadequate. Nobody's doing great things to make me feel less. They are simply doing great things, but I, within myself, I'm taking it upon myself to feel anxious and to feel inadequate and to feel like less and to compare myself to them. So it's like I'm shrinking at the sight of greatness because I feel like within myself I do not have the greatness to match. And so you realize that that's an internal problem. So what I need to do is then find the greatness within myself and mind my damn business. And when I tell you I've been minding my business, guy, I see greatness and I'm like, that's cool. Good for you. I like your picture. And I toss it to the side. Like, oh, that's cool. New car. Amen. We love that. Swipe. Ooh, you got married. Yeah, I like that. Swipe. Ooh, you got a first class honors with all them awards. I appreciate you. Swipe. Guy, I'm swiping. I'm swiping. Like, I love you and I'm swiping because I'm not going to stay here long enough to start comparing myself to you or to start feeling inadequate. And I know that it's something I struggle with. So I'll be like, guy, I can't stick around here too long. And I love you. And I can't stick around here too long. You know? So that's a whole big spiel. I didn't even know that's what I was getting into. That's a whole big spiel. Mandy was talking about her experience with the therapist and how the therapist was sort of like, why are you surprised that people are doing nice things for you? Um, I had an experience like that. It wasn't a similar one. It was kind of was something different to what Mandy was saying. Like the experience I had with my therapist was, well, I say my therapist. She was the first therapist I ever had when I was doing my master's in college. Because that master's was like Sandra said, that master's was doing me. That master's was giving me hands like I've never seen. Like that master's was jumping me, and I couldn't fight back. Like the master was crazy. But I remember I was having a conversation with a therapist, and I was like, I have to be the best. I have to be the best. I have to be the best. Keep in mind, I'm in a college with literally the best of the best, right? The best of the best. And I'm actually doing pretty well at a young age too. But I was like, I have to be the best. I have to be the best. I have to be the best. Like my assignments, they have to be the best. My grades, they have to be the best. My study, it has to be the best. My schedule, it has to be the best. My fitness regime, it has to be the best. My nutrition, it has to be the best. And I kept yapping and yapping and yapping, and I was oh man, I was yapping. And she was like, why do you have to be the best? She goes, Franklin, why do you have to be the best? And I froze. And I couldn't give this woman an answer. And we sat there for like 3 minutes in silence. And I kept asking myself, why do I have to be the best? Why do I have to be the best? Why do I have to, like, why do I have to be the best? Why do I have to be the best? Like, why? Like, for the first time ever, I asked that question. I was like, why do I have to be the best? Why do I have to be the best? I was like, because that's all I've ever heard. That's all I've ever been told. It was never be yourself, it was be the best. It was never try your best, it was be the best. So all I've ever known is to be the best. And even when my efforts are not good enough for me to be the best. Like like when I try my best and I am not the best, then I'm clearly not good enough. And I have to try my best plus plus. And if my best plus plus does not make me the best, then I'll try my best plus 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 extra plus more plus ultra. And if that doesn't make me the best, then I'm clearly not good enough and I should just give up. You know? So that was the conversation I had with the therapist. And I think that was the day that the best mindset started breaking apart for me. Like, she tore it to pieces with that one question. She was like, why do you have to be the best? Why, Franklin, why do you have to be the best? And I couldn't give this woman an answer. I thank God for that experience, because that experience not only saved my academics, because that year I actually did amazing in college. Like, that was the year I got my master's. That year or that experience changed my life, but I think it touched me the most in my faith. It touched me the most in my faith because all I've known how to do is compare, because all I've known is how to be the best. That's what I brought into my faith in Jesus as well. So when I became a Christian, in my mind, I thought, I am going to become the best Christian imaginable. I will pray the most. I will worship the most. I will read the Bible the most. I will fast the most. I will become the very best to prove to God that I am one of his best children, to prove to him that I am the best, to prove to him that I am one of his good kids, and I'm worth having around, like he could keep me, like I'm not gonna disappoint him, like to prove to him, you know? And that was my faith for such a long time. And those words from my therapist started tearing that apart. Like so many other things tore it apart, but those words, because I was like, why do I have to be the best? Like, who said that? Like, who said that? Like, where do we say that in the Bible? You know? Like, where does it say that? Where in the Bible does it say be the best? Like, where in God's literal word does it say be the best, be the greatest, be the strongest, be the fastest, be the smartest? Like, where does it say that? And which one of the people that God has worked with have been the best and the smartest? Like, have you read that book? I started reading that book and I was like, these niggas are insane. Every single one of them are crazy. Like, these are crazy people. Like, these are like Abraham, crazy. Moses, crazy. David, insane. Ezekiel, crazy. Job. Have you read the book of Job? What? I read the book of Lamentations and I said, God damn, they beat this man. Like, the book of Lamentations is somebody lamenting. And he's like, boy, what the hell going on? I can't do it no more. Like, Solomon, crazy. Jesus' disciples, crazy people, insane guys. Like, there was never a point where any of those people were perfect. There was never a point where any of those people were like, where any of those people were so the best, were so the greatest, were so strong that they didn't need God. There was never a point, because that was never the point. Do you know what I mean? Like, there was someone I was thinking of. It's actually gone on my mind. There's someone I was thinking of. But then you look at Jesus, right? You look at Jesus, and Jesus consistently worked and loved the people who were not the best. And he never ask them to be the best. He actually just asked them to believe in him and follow him. Like, it's the verse for the bench, and I'm going to keep saying it until it sticks in your brain, because I keep saying it until it sticks in mine. Come to me, all you who are weary, and I will give you rest. My yoke is easy and my burden is light. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, and you'll find peace for your souls. Like, that's what Jesus said. And ain't none of that have nothing to do with being the best. Jesus said, come to me, all ye who are weary, and I will give you rest. He didn't say, come to me, all you who feel inadequate, and I will make you the best. He didn't say, come to me as the best, and I will make you better. He said, come to me, all ye who are weary. And by weary, he meant tired. Come to me, all ye who are tired. Come to me, all ye who are confused. Come to me, all ye who are scared. Come to me, all ye who are anxious. Come to me, all ye who are lonely. Come to me, all ye who are heavy laden with the burdens of this world. Come to me, and I will give you peace. It's some of the craziest words ever spoken. It's some of the craziest words ever spoken in the history of humanity. Because in a world that says, be the best, try your hardest, outdo everybody, outrun the competition, go to the tallest peak, reach the highest heights, and you will find peace. Jesus says, come to me, all ye who are weary, and I will give you peace. It's crazy words. It's like a declaration of war on the systems that run this world, because it's so anti-world. They say, come to this place, and he's like, come to this person, which is me. Gotcha. You know, it's crazy stuff, man. It's crazy stuff. But yeah, I have a verse. We don't do this without verses, guys. The Bible is very important, guys. Make sure you're reading your Bible. Let me actually drink some more tea. Let me drink some more tea. We have a verse. I have to read the verse out of notebook because I didn't bring my Bible. My Bible wouldn't fit in my bag because my Bible is actually kind of heavy. So I had to write down the verse in the notebook first, but I'll read it out. So, this is my Bible for today. This is my Bible. If you have your Bible, I would love for you to pull it out and open with me to Matthew 18, verse 1 to 5. Open with me to Matthew 18, verse 1 to 5, right? Cool. So verse 1. At that time, the disciples came to Jesus and asked, who then is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? At that time, the disciples came to Jesus and asked, who then is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? So we could just stop there first of all. They were like, who's the best of the best? Who's the greatest of the greatest? Who's the cream of the crop of your kingdom? They were like, who gets to stand above others in your kingdom? Who is the best? And then in verse 2, Jesus called a little child to him and placed the child among them. Verse 3, and he said, truly I tell you, unless you change and become like little children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. Number 4, therefore, whoever takes the lowly position of this child is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. 5, and whoever welcomes one such child in my home welcomes me. Those are some crazy words. Like I'm telling you, Jesus was a serious guy. Read verse 4. Therefore, whoever takes the lowly position of this child is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. I had to do that for dramatic effect. He said, in the kingdom of heaven, whoever takes the lowest position is the greatest. Because like that's so important to me now, and that has to become important for you too. That's so important to me now because coming from the background I came from and living in the world that we live in, I came into faith believing that I can operate in the kingdom of heaven the same way I operated in the world, which was I will be the best. I came in thinking that I am going to show up and be the best and work my hardest, and then God will accept me, because that's what I always did for my parents or towards my parents. You know what I mean? And with those verses, Jesus tears that down completely. He says, therefore, whoever takes the lowly position of the child is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. And I remember I was reading those verses and I was like, what the heck does this mean? Because children don't know anything about anything. They're children. And then I realized that's just it. Children don't know, and I was about to say Christians don't know anything about anything. That's crazy. Children don't know anything about anything, but children are teachable and willing to learn. Children are curious. Children are loving. Children are kinder, because I don't like some children are mean as hell. Children are open books. Like, yeah, children have this desire to learn and curiosity enough to be able to ask questions, you know? And that's how Jesus wants us to be. He's not expecting us to be the best or have the answers. Like, children aren't loved because they're well behaved. Children are loved because they're children. And he wants us to have that same demeanor as Christians, to be loved because we're loved, not to work for him so that we can be loved. Do you know what I'm saying? So he's like, whoever takes the lowly position of this child is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. So whoever puts aside their works, whoever puts aside their best efforts, and whoever comes to Jesus, like he asked, because he actually did ask, he said, come to me, all ye who are weary, and I will give you rest. My yoke is easy, my burden is light. Take my yoke upon you, learn from me, and you'll find peace for your soul. So it's like, take my yoke upon you, take my teaching on you, learn from me, be teachable, and you will find peace for your soul. And that's what Jesus is saying with that verse as well. He's like, whoever takes the position of the child, putting aside their pride and efforts, and becomes teachable to the point of learning from me and doing what I've asked of them, is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. And that changes everything, because you then start to realize it is not by your Bible study, it is not by your effortful prayer, it is not by your service in the church, it is not by your strength of fire in your heart for Christ, because people love that one. It is not by any of those things that you are justified in the eyes of God. It is by your belief in Jesus Christ, because he died for you so that you could have this relationship with him. He initiated this relationship. He stretched out his hand, not you. And that means something, because he loves you that much. He loves you enough to stretch out his hand to you, knowing that you may never reach back to grab it. Like, that's who Jesus is. And it changes everything. So, if you are a person of faith, or you are someone who is exploring faith, and you've grown up always putting in your best efforts, always striving, always working hard, always trying your hardest to be the best so that people can accept you, what I want to let you know is that Jesus is not like the people who you want to accept you. Jesus is not like other people. Jesus is the physical embodiment of God in human form. And he says, come to me exactly as you are. Exactly as you are. Jesus doesn't say, hey, do a little work and then we could talk. He says, come to me exactly as you are. Exactly as you are. Wherever you are, however you are, whoever you are, whatever you are, whatever you've done. He says, come to me exactly as you are, and I will give you peace. And that means something. So if you are that person who's only ever put in effort, what I would tell you is that you should put down your efforts and pick up his teaching, and you'll find peace for your soul and rest for your heart. That's it, man. Why is this guy making noise? That's it, man. That's it, man. Damn. I won't lie, I could tell today's episode was a long one because I've been yapping. Oh my god, I've been talking. I'm actually so tired. And my jaws hurt as well. Bruv, I'm gonna take a crazy nap after this. But yeah, man, that's today's episode. I don't even know what I'm gonna title this because I feel like we went in so many different directions. But yeah, man, it's been your boy in Brussels. You already know how it goes. If you like the content, hey, hit us with a like. Listen, every episode I say hit us with a like, hit us with a comment, hit us with a subscribe, and a bunch of y'all actually don't do it. As you're watching this right now, if you are watching it and you refuse to like, guy, I will find you and we will scrap. And I'm good at scrapping. I'm a top scrapper. Like, they used to call me village champion. Like, I'm about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, man, hit us with a like, hit us with a comment, hit us with a subscribe, share with your friends, share with your family, share with your mom. Should you share with your mom? Because if you share with your mom, she might share with my mom and I might get in trouble, so I don't know. But share with everyone you love, man. Tell them about Jesus. Let's have some fun. But yeah, I'm just yapping on now, so that's pretty much where we end today. If you're watching this, I love you. Jesus loves you more. If you want to have a conversation with Jesus, find yourself somewhere quiet, or find yourself somewhere quiet. Find yourself somewhere quiet and just talk to him. Say some words, whatever words you've got in your heart to say to him, just say it to him, and don't be surprised when he speaks back. So yeah, I love you. This has been your boy Franklin, aka Franco, aka I actually can't even remember my own nicknames. I'm so sorry. I'm so tired. But yeah, I will talk to you later. Deuces. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye. It's sunny as heck, but we're out here, man. Yeah, welcome. Welcome to the bench. Welcome to the bench. Welcome to the bench. Welcome to the bench.